Davy, and I'm awesome, and welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. And this week, it's time to give the ending of a trilogy that started as one of the best movies ever. This one was made in 1996, 14 years after the original, and 5 years after the second one. And this film was directed by Gabrielle Beaumont, and was written by David Weiss, produced by Stu Seagal, Silvio Tabet, Lisa Cochran, David Weiss, and Gurnett Bell. And it was made by Stu Seagal Productions, as well as MCA Television Limited, and distributed by NBC Universal Television Distribution. Ladies and gentlemen, the third and final installment, sort of, Beastmaster 3, Eye of Braxus. The movie opens with Lord Agon, played by David Warner, who really needed a cough drop. This was actually him sacrificing a prisoner to make himself younger. And yes, 20 years younger meant he had a new hairstyle. Movie magic. Then we hear Agon talking about Dar and Tal, how they have the amulet he needs to get his full power and strength back.
I must have the Eye of Braxus.
He said it! Apparently Tal has it. Then we see some bandits robbing a family. Yeah! It's the Beastmaster! And he gets help from his trusty Rue. Yes, Rue is now a lion. First movie, he was a black tiger. Second movie, a striped tiger. Now he's a lion. And no, in none of these sequels do they explain that. Guess who else is back? Yes, the ferrets, Kodo and Podo, are back. Even though at the end of the second one, Dar left them with Jackie in the other dimension that was really modern times Los Angeles. Some of you may be like, I didn't see the second one, or your review of the second one. Well, you still heard me right. That's the plot of the second movie. They went to Los Angeles. However, like me, you should be happy to know that number 3 completely ignores number 2 as if it never happened. Made me feel better. Then we get reunited with Mark Singer, playing the Beastmaster!
My friends call me Dar, but you can call me the Beastmaster.
Okay, that sword's cool, but what happened to your ultra sweet scimitar, man?
We shall meet again, Master of the Beasts.
It's Beastmaster! He just told you that! After he spares the lives of the bandits and lets them leave, Dar goes to talk to the family, who tells him that they were traveling from Umbeth to seek an audience with King Tal. Dar's brother from the first movie, okay? Keep up. But now they're upset because the bandits broke the gift offering they were going to give to Tal so they could have an audience with him. But Dar tells him, rest assured, I'll make sure you get an audience with him.
You know King Tal?
Like a brother.
So next, we see Tal,
Thank you. Most kind.
played by one of, if not the worst actor ever, Casper Van Dien. Yeah, that actor's terrible. But, rest assured, even though he's playing an important character in this movie, it's not one that's in the movie very much. Dar keeps his word to the family and does in fact get them their audience with Tal, even though they didn't have a gift for him. They tell Tal about what's going on in Umbeth because of Aegon taking over, kidnapping everybody, and killing everybody. So Tal, being the righteous ruler that he is, tells Seth, who is also in this movie, to ready the troops. However, in the first movie, Seth is played by John Amos. They could not get him to revise his role to be in this movie, so they had to think, who can possibly replace John Amos?
Very well, Your Majesty.
The Candyman can, because that's Tony Todd from the Candyman movies. Tal wants Dar to go with them, but Dar says his place is elsewhere. So instead, Tal pulls Dar aside and has a gift for Dar. Something that Tal was given by his father, King Zed, before he died.
I will guard it with my life.
A friendship necklace. Now they each have a piece to guard. Later that night, Dar is left, and we see a guard patrolling the camp.
Reveal yourself at once!
Oh, he's John, by the way. Off in the distance, Dar can see the fire from Tal's camp, so he sends his hawk, Sharak, to see what's going on. Maybe you should have stayed. After Dar finds out that Tal has been kidnapped by Aegon, Tal sets out to go find him. The next morning he finds some of Aegon's soldiers, the Crimson Warriors. Not because they have red or anything, or because they spill blood, but because their sword blades are red. Crimson red. Dar asks the soldiers what they've done with Tal.
You are in no position to ask questions.
Haha, and you are a voiceover. Just as they are about to go attack Dar, a holy man comes by.
Hear my words and feel the god of Gimmish touch your brow!
It's Seth! After Dar and Seth fight off the soldiers, not killing any of them, the soldiers take off. Then we see Tal, who's just arrived at the lair of Aegon.
Lost, it's mine.
Hey, you cannot have that necklace. You are not Dar's bestie. It's actually the Eye of Braxus. Well, half of it. On the way to Umbeth, Dar and Seth encounter some travelers.
Here we go again!
Does nobody talk in this world to each other? Like, for crying out loud. No, hey, traveler, where are you going? Oh, we're going to Umbeth. Oh, us too. You mind if we tag along? Sure, it's sure hot out today, isn't it? Yeah, I'm getting hungry. You want to stop by a McDonald's? Nothing? Seth and Dar fight these guys off. Again, they don't kill anybody. They just cause them to run off. And the girl in the group is really mad because apparently it took her weeks to recruit these guys.
Maybe if you'd chosen better warriors, they wouldn't have run away.
Fair enough. The girl is Shada. And after she finds out that they're after Aegon...
There's something about you that I find very attractive.
There is something about him. Perhaps it's the fact that he's the Beastmaster! Back to Aegon. He is trying to get Tal to tell him where the other piece of the Eye of Braxus is. That was hard to say. It almost made me sound like I had a lisp. Where the Eye of Braxus is... Tal, of course, won't tell, so they strap him to this thing called the Shroud of Agony. Apparently, it's painful, but it can rip memories from your mind, so it'll get them the answer they want. Slowly and painfully. Okay, in this time setting, where exactly did he get eyeglasses from? Like, I seriously doubt that Umbeth has a lens crafters. The next morning, Shada leads Seth and Dar to a road that will lead to Umbeth and says goodbye. One way to go. Most people shake hands, maybe a fist bump, but she's very friendly. As they're walking... No! Who did that?
Die fighting!
No!
Oh no. Now Dar and Seth are in the Green Inferno.
We don't care if you get it.
When they get them back to the tribe's camp, Shada reappears. Okay, I know women really like jewelry, but come on. This is a little underhanded. I mean, if Umbeth has a lens crafters, I'm sure they have a Zale somewhere. She also takes... Meh. His other sword's way better anyway. Then they tie down Seth and Dar and get ready to execute them. Which, if they're anything like the other tribes I've seen in movies like this, execute means eat. Beastmaster! Then Dar gets reacquainted with somebody.
So we meet again, Master of the Beasts.
Dude, is it really that hard for you to say Beastmaster? Because trust me, it's not. Say it a lot. It irritates my wife, because even when I'm not watching one of these movies, I sometimes randomly just say, Beastmaster! The bandit saved Dar's life because Dar had spared his. He also tells him that Shada works for Aegon. So apparently now they're even.
Next time I may have to kill you.
Yeah, good luck with that. Didn't work out for you the first time. They catch up to Shada and get the amulet back. And this time, they tie her hands together.
This time, we keep her, till Umbeth is within sight.
Once they finally get her to lead them to Umbeth, they untie her and let her go. And then they meet Bay.
I'm Bay.
This is way before Bay meant boyfriend or girlfriend. But it was not before Bay meant poop. That's right, when you guys talk about your sweet Bay, you're basically saying your sweet poop. Bay is part of a circus, I guess you would say, performer. He's an acrobat. And he takes them into the circus tent to meet Madame Mysterio.
She's a witch.
Seth knows her. Seth used to date her. But Seth doesn't like her because at one point she turned him into a little rabbit for a little bit.
It was only for a little while, and it was to punish you.
Women. But now she's over it.
It's good to see you.
Then we go back to Shada.
Take me to Ombeth. I have an audience with Lord Aegon.
Seriously, if this movie wasn't a made-for-TV PG project, they would have just killed her. Dar asks Morgana to help them get into the Argon's lair in Umbeth, so she turns Rue into a cat. She turns the ferrets into mice, and the hawk into a dove, and then...
Gentlemen, he's all yours.
But she actually didn't betray them. This was part of her plan. They captured Dar, so now he's in the headquarters, and the rest of them can sneak in with the smaller animals.
The animals will travel with us.
So she's... good. When Dar arrives at Argon's lair, Argon takes the amulet from Dar, sets him up for his execution, and then, like a typical villain moron, leaves and assumes that it's all going to go to plan. I think one of them would catch on by now. Okay, make up your mind. Are you good or bad?
Came to ask for your forgiveness.
Done.
Okay. Sure. Whatever. They meet with the others.
You see, I told you I'd get them safely into the Citadel.
Okay, but maybe you should have told Dar your plan. Just saying. Shada and Dar go off to get tall, while the others stay back and fight some Crimson Warriors. If you can really turn people into animals, then why don't you just turn them all into like snails and step on them or something? Dar frees tall.
With whatever strength I have left, I will fight Lord Aegon. You're in no condition to fight.
Dude, you are such a bad actor. Even your wig is doing a bad job at pretending to be hair. Aegon gets a hold of Vay, and is about to sacrifice him to get his youth, which will give him enough strength to complete his task. Ah, poop.
Aegon!
He just bait himself. They all have a standoff when Aegon's Crimson Warriors surround the heroes. And this allows Aegon to finally put the Eye of Braxus in the statue like he needs to. And then we hear the voice of Braxus.
And your body shall be mine! No!
That didn't go the way he expected it. Then, we see the god, Braxus. Is that supposed to be intimidating? Because it's not. It doesn't look like he's supposed to, like, kill everybody. It actually looks like any minute now he's gonna look at the camera and say, "Not the mama."
I, Braxus, will rule again.
At no point do we actually see Braxus speak. The few times they slip up and have him saying dialogue with his face appearing, the mouth doesn't move, which tells me that this was so low budget, they couldn't afford a moving puppet mouth. Dar cannot kill him with conventional weapons, so he has to use his wits. And his ferrets. Yeah! And Dar is able to rip off the eye.
Where is it?
I want ferrets. Braxus without his eye doesn't have any powers. You guys couldn't muster up just enough of a budget to have an explosion of some kind? Oh, he's not done. That finally did it.
Let's get King Tal.
Later, Tal makes a decision. He doesn't want Seth to lead his army anymore. He wants Seth to go partner with Dar. And he wants them to go throughout his kingdom, righting wrongs, fighting tyranny, helping those who are in need.
Your Majesty, he never listens.
I honestly believe that this ending was to help set up the TV show that would be coming out 3 years later. But enough about that. Shada decides she's going to go back to Umbeth and be their protector.
I will never forget you.
And they set off for more adventures.
Don't worry. I'll get us there.
So there you have it. That's Beastmaster 3, Eye of Braxus. Like I talked about earlier, this movie basically completely ignored the second movie, acted like it never happened, which was a good idea. I would definitely say that this movie was a better sequel than the second one. The first Beastmaster was fantastic. It was a masterpiece. The second one was a very stupid, disappointing letdown that really did not feel like a sequel to Beastmaster. This one did feel like a sequel. However, this one did have its flaws. You could tell by everything in it that the production was very low budget. Very low budget, more than the other two. Not to mention another thing that hurt this one was the quality being a made-for-TV movie. It was a movie that, unlike the first two, did not get any kind of a theatrical release, not even a small one. It was straight to NBC, which is why it had some watered-down effects, very toned-down violence, no actually seeing anybody die, no blood, because it was a family-friendly made-for-TV movie. And in my opinion, this was really just like a test of them trying to set up for the Beastmaster television series that would come out 3 years later. Now, I am never going to review that series because that would mean I'd have to watch it. I've seen a couple of episodes and it was awful. I'd rather watch the second one on repeat. There are now talks of them doing a Beastmaster remake, which I really hope they don't go through with, because ultimately that was one of the problems with the TV series was they had another actor playing Beastmaster, and Mark Singer made that role. He was so iconic in that role that nobody can replace him. Leave it alone. However, I will say that even though this may not have been the best way to follow up the original Beastmaster, the best way would have been a decent budget, decent effects, better actors, some fight scenes that would be on par with the first one, it was still a decent follow-up and a decent movie. So I would say if you are a fan of the original Beastmaster, you should check out Beastmaster 3, and I will say check out Beastmaster 2 as well, because it's worth seeing, I guess. This one's even better, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications from when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Beastmaster 3. Tell me which Beastmaster was your favorite. Love you guys.